Ready to call our meeting to order for November 17, 2005. We've all had an opportunity to review the minutes of the September 29th meeting. Are there any deletions or additions that we change to the minutes? If not, I entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Next item on the
Need to
agenda.
sign.
I'm sorry.
We need to sign the minutes. We need to sign the minutes.
Okay,
Today's November 17th. Thank.
what did you say the date was?
November 17th. Looks like I did that one back to you. Yep, you keep that one. Oh, you need to sign that one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I should have one more though, somewhere.
No, I got all the portions.
That's good.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the bank statements from September and October.
Okay, in front of you is, first one you should have is September with the Premier checking. Basically, that's just a savings account that has the higher interest. There's really not much going on other than the interest, and I transferred money from one account to the other account just to be able to pay bills. So that's September. For the Premier, then the next one you should have would be September with the Now account, which is the checking. The only check that was missing is a voided check for September 5th, which I handwrote at the very top. There were two checks towards the bottom of the first page that did not show the check number, so I handwrote those out. Please take a look. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the checks written.
Pink Valley Publishing was for our meetings, correct? That we did.
That's when I publish in the paper. Yeah, and I have to publish both in the both in the Herald Journal and the News Review.
So you think it's out of order?
I do not. You want to approve both at the same time?
Do you want to do both September and October at the same time, or do you want to approve September 1st and then October that way? Because this is just September with the both accounts. We haven't gotten to October.
Probably September, both accounts.
Okay. Larry, do you have any questions about the September statements?
So I entertain a motion to approve the September bank statements on the Premier checking and the Now account.
So moved.
Second. Move in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carry.
Okay, now we're moving on to October. Premier account, once again, that's just basically a savings account earning a higher interest. The only activity was interest paid. The other account for October is the now account, which is the main checking. We did have a little bit of income of $2.20 from making these that were not township related. That money will go into the rainy day fund, as stipulated in a previous meeting that we had, which was also in minutes. There were no outstanding checks for Jane. You have any questions about any of the checks? Activity?
I don't see anything.
Did you get your $5 ball?
Hmm?
Up here it says, for the barbecue, get $5 off or $30 order. Did you get your $5?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Up there, it's just city barbecue.
Oh, we're not there yet. We're on the bank statement.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
my
a,
word.
that's a claim. That's a claim.
Well, we're not there yet. You're
Okay.
jumping way ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
Make a motion that we approve the October 25th bank
I'll
statement.
second that. Motion is second to approve the October now premier checking account. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries also.
Okay, now we're moving on to the cemeteries update. So. Should say cemetery, no cemeteries update. So Century Mapping came out on Wednesday, October 15th. He was here for one day. He started with the smaller cemetery, the Rothrock 2. Got that completed in quick time. He located 39 unmarked graves. And then he went out to Old Schaefer Cemetery and located 125 unmarked graves.
I think that's pretty well spent.
And when you go out, because Old Schaefer is such a larger property, it was scattered all over the place, except the very center. There was nothing in the center. So I had heard many years ago that there was a church out there, and that may have been where the church was.
Do you know of any way to try to assign names to those? Is that just lost to history?
I wouldn't even know where to begin since that church is no longer there. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Do we have a copy of that? How many they've found?
No, this is a verbal.
Okay, so Rothrock 2 was 39 and then Old Schaefer is 125.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Then 2 days later, my son and I, my youngest son, Jonas, that's joining the Air Force, we went out and marked the graves with the bolts and the discs. We went out there and did that because the weather was changing and we were supposed to get a really bad storm over the weekend, so we went Friday night. Did it. Yep. So we became noisy neighbors. But that's taken care of. I did take a video of Schaefer before we did it, so you could kind of see where the flags are, but it's such a big copy, you don't get to see all the flags, but you can tell the big open space in the middle. One thing about Schaefer is now I know where to put the fence. There's 2 posts sticking out in the front of the property, about 15 feet or so in. And then there are unmarked graves along that front row, and they are kind of spaced out. I'm sure it had been in the day, is between those 2 posts. I imagine that there was probably a path to be able to go in to the church that was probably there. However, there are marked graves right there. So you can't pull in unless you're driving over somebody. So something that we would need to talk about at some point would be, do we want to open this cemetery up or not? There's a lot of space out there, but I don't know how anybody could get out there without going over somebody to be able to put somebody else in the ground. I don't know if we want to go out there at some point and see.
I would, yeah.
I would suggest doing it sooner rather than several years from now, before those markers get covered up by grass. So,
Yeah, I don't think I have any objection to open it up for burials. I don't know if there would be a big demand, but
mhm.
I guess the question would be, what would we charge, and are there any hoops we have to jump through to do that? I mean, I don't.
The first step is marking the unmarked graves. But my big contention with opening it would be, if somebody's going to bring somebody out there, how are they going to get from the road to a plot inside without driving over an unmarked grave? Because they're spaced out along
Could we
the
open
road.
it up to pauper's plots? The pauper's plots, that when nobody claims a body in the funeral homes, then the funeral homes can then cremate them. And then after a certain period of time of holding them, and I think it's 5 years, but don't hold me on that, 5 years, then they can dispose of the ashes. That may be something that we reserve those spaces for something
I think that makes a
like
lot of
that,
sense.
Okay,
for that.
and that is something that was brought to my attention today. At the morgue, there are 2 unclaimed bodies that resided in Union Township. So,
And that happens more often than you know.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of times families do come in and claim, but they can't release it to them because they are not the person that they can release the body to. So if the funeral home releases the body to the wrong kin,
mhm.
then they are subject to a lawsuit on the, if somebody decided to sue the funeral home, then they can sue the funeral home. So it has to go to the next of kin, which if the next of kin doesn't do anything, then the funeral home just has to keep it.
Okay. I had a very short conversation with Cody Shurik, who works at the morgue as well, and he said they're
Mhm.
So I said, well, let's have that conversation tomorrow, because I didn't have time to talk with them today about
Right.
it. So,
I think that makes,
That way we wouldn't have to worry
Makes sense.
about traffic going, it can be carried over to where we need it to be
And we
and
don't have
done
to
with
pay.
dignity.
I like that
Do
idea.
something.
Can we kind of table this for a much deeper discussion?
Yes, and then talk to Cody
And
too
find
and
out
see
more
what he has.
details.
Yep.
Okay, Alan, thank you.
yeah.
You called it a pauper's.
Pulper's lot is what it is.
The way to bury the indigent.
So you may not know who the next of kin is.
That's true too, because if they haven't, yeah.
Said they're unclaimed.
Yeah.
With no family. Okay. What's next? Calvert Cemetery. Oh, do you guys have any questions about century mapping?
I do have a question about
yes.
century mapping
Yes.
now. Have you heard the, at the board meeting at the city, they are trying to find railing or pipes and everything for the new walking path. And they have had that sonar 3 times, and all 3 times they told them where it was, and all 3 times it's wrong. Makes me sort of leery about what we were doing when I was listening to it about,
Same company?
well, they just said sonar, and I'm going, okay, if they're not hitting it right,
Then
how are we distinguish whether they know it's a body or
So
if it's
when
a?
yeah,
Because
because
it made me
because
nervous.
rock, there's a lot of trees and a lot of roots. And so I asked that question too. And he said he didn't feel comfortable marking a grave as a potential. He would only mark the grave if he could confirm.
Good.
So, because especially towards the back along that tree line, because when I started as trustee, those trees, those branches were really coming over. Yeah, he would only mark it if he could confirm it.
So that's what I'm,
When
we say
he
there's
thought there
nothing
definitely
down
could be a
there.
lot more, especially along the back, but he didn't feel comfortable marking it if he couldn't, if he didn't feel confident
Right.
with it, so.
If I could go backwards, I mean, I know we're gonna discuss this later, but
Mhm.
building on Jackie's idea, do you know if there's like an open spot where we could use that for Jackie's idea rather than here and there or somewhere else?
We could, in the far back off of the property in the woods are some very large bases. Yay, tall, maybe a dozen or more of those. We don't know at this point who they belong to, but they were taken off the cemetery at some point.
Yeah,
Theoretically, we could find an empty area, maybe construct some of them together and make like a tribute
yeah,
for those.
yeah.
And then have a designated area for that.
That's gonna take some planning though.
That it would,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
of course, we wanna
yeah.
do it with honor and
Right.
dignity and do it right, so, but that is an idea. Because they shouldn't be, they're off the property, they're in the woods. I'd like them to be back on the property, but I don't know who they belong to, so why put them randomly when you don't know who they belong to, but maybe we could repurpose them.
I know guys like those for us, for nothing, so.
Wow. Okay.
Find out more.
Okay.
And we bring it up again.
And next year I'd like to get the fence installed, so we would need to probably move those before the new fence was in. So, but we can talk about it. So, if you're thinking castle on it, you'd like it. You might like it to be.
How does
And
the city, before we move on, how does the city know that what they're doing is not right?
Cause they drilled where they told them to and it wasn't there.
What were they drilling?
Drill it, it's something to do with they've gotta move pipes for the walking path.
The Riverwalk.
Riverwalk, that's what it is. I'm sorry, I'm not in with what the city does, so when I was listening, it was like, what do you mean this is the third? Of course, I'm talking to myself. What I'm saying is, I'm going, what do you mean this is the third time?
No, it's just,
I got one in the front.
I'm fine.
It's the water pipes, the water department should know where they are.
Well, you gotta find somebody that put them there.
They just put them there, didn't record where they put them.
Well, we didn't have to back
Oak
then.
Street is Oak Street, so.
We didn't
Yeah.
have to do that. And everybody that I know that could help them out is dead.
No, they get it.
So the people that I knew that used to be able to tell me where everything was, and I don't have them anymore. So,
Why do they, it's nice to have, but why do they really need them? Other than they like to have them.
you can't build over certain things.
Okay, that's right.
And so that's what they're trying to figure it
The
out.
Riverwalk, what they're gonna do is they're not gonna build a building, I don't think, they're just gonna build a,
I
well,
can't
anyway.
answer those questions.
yeah, okay.
I just was, when we were saying that, I'm thinking, gosh, we just had those cemetery stuff, so that's why I was
It
questioning.
used to be called Tippecanoe Boulevard, according to
Right
what
there.
I'm saying.
What used to be called Tippecanoe.
Buffalo
Bluff
Street.
Street.
Really? As far as paying Century, I've already made 2 payments. One was to get him to come out. The other one was for the services that he did. And then the third payment will be after he provides the mapping. Yeah. On it, so, any other questions about that topic?
Once we get that map, should we I don't really know what to do, but record it with the recorder's office or something, so it's not lost to history again.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, if they
Is
do
that
ever-
something that can be recorded?
I don't know.
It can be recorded?
You can record anything.
I mean, that way, if townships ever go away, it's, it's still here somewhere.
They got a miscellaneous, they should have a miscellaneous book. Where they refer stuff, because
The Historical Society has,
Well,
Well,
that too, yeah, you could store it both places.
Yeah.
they should have a copy too.
they should have something, yeah.
Yeah.
But we may have to pay for extra copies. they'll give you one.
Yeah, well. We need one to be recorded, and we need one, historical society, that's right, they probably ought to have one.
Okay.
So we may have to ask.
We'll
for-
have to see how it comes and
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah.
So
Any-
the Calvary Cemetery.
Calder Cemetery. So he got the letter.
Mhm.
He called me, he came in. He was not very happy about the letter. He proposed selling us the cemetery for $850,000.
Good.
He was, in his words, he was offended by the letter. He said that it's his property. He said he's been trying to clean up the cemetery, removing debris and branches, and it's his goal to get it cordoned off, let it be a little family cemetery. I commend him on his intent in wanting to do that, so it's his property.
Yeah, good.
I told him it wasn't my intent to upset him by any means. It was just sitting there in the woods and would love to restore it if possible, so,
But yeah, she said no, yeah.
yeah, okay. So that's that update. Any questions about that? Okay, next line item is the township website and security. So as far as the website, I've been working with IoT. I've met with them virtually. I met with 5 ladies about getting the website up and running. We've started that process. I had to create some domain. I'm just about my favorite. I've done what they've asked me to do so far, the first couple of steps. The next step is trying to figure out what I want on the website. So that's my goal this week, is to figure out what tabs and what menu items and stuff to kind of put on the website. And then I gotta give them that, and then there's more steps, so it's a process. My goal is to have it up and done by the end of the year. We'll see.
I would guess you probably want agendas, minutes.
Well, here's the
Right,
thing,
yeah.
if the state is requiring this, they should have a requirement for what should be on the website. Do they have a requirement sheet of what needs to be on the website?
I don't know if we're required to have a website, but I want to have a website that, because people are on the internet much more than they call.
Okay,
So having our phone number, our address, the types of assistance that we have, that we take care of the cemeteries, we help out with the fire department, how to get hold of us, having the agenda, having these meetings advertised, posted so that they can view it. Not only for our residents, but also for our state board of accounts. See, we're posting these and here they are. So, and we have the YouTube account for now because they have to be posted. But I would much rather have them on website, because when there's social media, there's something called social media archiving. And I want to get away from having social media where people can talk and interact. Yes, there's some people that request particular information on social media. If somebody deletes it and you don't have it, then it's a whole financial thing. And it's very costly to have social media archives, $3,000 or $4,000 to have it. And I'd much rather not pay for something like that if we.
I totally agree with you. I agree that we should have the minutes and an application and things like this on the web page, but that's what I'm saying, for you not knowing how to build it, if there's no instructions on.
No,
how to build it,
IoT is building it. They just want to know
what you need.
what I
Okay,
want on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's other townships, there's other governmental agencies that have their own websites that IoT will create for free.
Okay.
Otherwise, had we gone through someone who's like Managed Service Partners, it was gonna cost us $3,000 to do it. I went through Civic Plus, it was gonna be like $3,000 definitely for them to do it. So we're saving the taxpayers by going through IoT.
So more to come on that, right?
Yes, it's a work in progress. That's my update on that. It's been started. And I'm working on it. And they're helping me. So when I have questions. Lots of questions.
Look at Twin Lakes Regional Sewer District, see what's on their site. Because they have quite a lot of stuff on.
I want to keep it as simple as possible, so it's easy to navigate. So
Well, I get the idea.
I don't want to bury it with a ton of information and they can't find
Okay.
what the important things are.
Everything we have is public record, if somebody wants to find it, but sometimes everything out there is
Too much.
an issue.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just want to keep it simple for what we do. So.
okay.
The security part of township, I've had MSP, which is Managed Services Partners, come out. They installed the firewall. They installed the storage, the cloud storage. So our information is being backed up. They connected the camera to the laptop. We're now doing Zoom meetings rather than doing Facebook Live. Facebook Live was only recording and saving for up to 30 days, and we're supposed to be doing 30 days. So now we're saving it to Zoom, and then I should be able to post to YouTube temporarily until the website is up and running.
So with these Zoom meetings, are you gonna be sending them to us then through our email?
Do you want me to?
When I do the minutes, it's easier.
Oh, it'll be posted to the YouTube page. Then you can just watch it off at YouTube.
Okay,
Then I'll
and-
have some views.
And you'll send us the link to the YouTube page.
The YouTube page now has a video, so if you type in the YouTube page, you'll find it.
Do we have the address for that then? Okay.
Well, I can tell you what you type in.
www.youtube.com.
No, you just go to YouTube. And then you'll type in. Use YouTube.
Well, that's how I get YouTube. And then you look at all the stuff and then there's a list of whole stuff. You click on what you want to see. So there'll probably be something on there about Union Township trustee.
There should be a link that you can send.
So they just enter the search bar to find out.
Switch account.
Yeah,
You would type it, when you go to YouTube, it's Union Township, White County, Indiana. Union Township, White County.
but you gotta get YouTube first,
Yep,
so.
it's free.
So just put that in the search bar, there it would be.
Yep.
Okay, that's simple enough.
And there's one video, it's just like a test video. Okay. So far, working with Managed Service Partners has been wonderful. They take my calls, they answer my questions. I had a problems after they came and installed the firewall. I had a problem with the scanner not scanning any documents into the computer. Called them, they hopped on the computer, played around, they couldn't figure it out, got on the phone call with the the copier people. Then I got on 2 phones so they could talk to each other, and I'm in front of, they both got on the computer and figured it out. And they've been amazing to work with so far. And I've been able to reach them after hours too, so I'm really pleased with them. And for the amount of time that they've stayed on the phone with me, even though people are walking in, they're like, oh, wait.
That's good.
Yeah, just absolutely 5 stars, 5 stars. Any questions about that before we move on to the capital improvement plan?
No.
Okay. Next line item, capital improvement plan, fire department update. So we had talked about for 2026, helping the Monticello Fire Department with hoses for 34,000, and then $200,000 towards the dump truck. They did a test on the fire hoses, and many of the hoses did not pass. So they had to purchase them 10 days ago, weeks ago. Trying to get funding for this year with having the board meeting and then posting in the paper for the appropriate. I didn't think I could do a turnaround in 6 weeks because that's a lot of pressure to get it done when it's just me. So I suggested, instead of us doing hoses, that we pick a different project and something. So I talked with Cody, the fire chief, and I was talking with him. The next priority item was dive rescue and rope rescue equipment. So when we had met back in September, when Ryan Blake came in and gave us these documents, I have it here. You guys should have a copy of it. But I've separated them out. So I listed them on the agenda, what the dollar amounts were proposed in here. I spoke with Cody, and I'll give you guys a copy so you guys can compare. These are the first one I'll give you is from the meeting in September. This is an email that Cody sent me just yesterday. The dollar amounts are different, and after looking at them, I don't know specifically how many suits was in the original quote for the 51,000, but it does specify in the email how many. But the main difference that I can tell is one has communication gear that doesn't look like it was included in the email. And there was another item that didn't look like it was included. Stokes basket and rigging hardware. I didn't think that was in the email either. Can you shed some light? Because I don't know what's what.
I guess I don't know, why they need a new Stokes basket. It's just an aluminum basket that unless you bend it or break it, they last forever.
Okay.
The harnesses that go to them, those do have a limited lifespan.
Mm-hmm. What about, but I don't like, the email is requesting 35,000, whereas the proposal that was given to us in September is asking for about 51,000. So that's a difference of about 16,000. But I noticed in the email, with it being less money, it doesn't look like it included underwater communication system. I don't see that listed.
No, I don't either.
So I don't know if Cody was going to try to come tonight, but he's sick and didn't want to get us exposed, which I appreciate. I don't know if we want to get him on the phone, but I kept saying, well, I'm pretty sure that Ryan Blake's proposal was 51,000. He's like, but it should be about 35,000. So.
Is that because it's like Jefferson Township to buy the dry suits?
I don't know. Well, the original total they wanted was almost 20. So, and then unless Jefferson Township wants to buy all the suits.
No, it says unless.
And then it's 54, which make the grand total 35,470. So I guess my question is, instead of doing the ropes for 2026, do we want to do the next impending?
You mean the hoses?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You said ropes. I know,
didn't
I'm just following along. So
Sorry.
I just want to make sure.
Sorry, so instead of doing the hose for 2026, because they did the purchase, they placed the order, they hope to get it. It's next month sometime, and I'm like, but if you're gonna get it next month, then why are we paying for it in 2026 if you're getting it in 2025? I just.
That's something that the vendors do quite a bit at this time of year. They'll even split bills to take care of this year's budget and then take the balance out of next year's budget.
Mhm. So I don't feel comfortable trying to get it all cranked in within 6 weeks to get approved. To me, doing the last appropriations, all of that. It was very stressful. I don't want to go through that again. So I'm looking at doing and beginning all the appropriation stuff in January. Then I have plenty of time to get it done and I don't feel so rushed trying to get it in the newspaper, getting it published, having our meetings, getting it all crammed in, hoping and praying that it's gonna go through with DGLF, getting approval, waiting.
It's all the same money, right? We'd rather we spend.
It's the
this year
same
next
money, but if it gets approved in 2025 and it's last minute, great. But what if it doesn't get approved? I did it all in 2025 and then it gets approved in 2026.
No, I
And
guess
then I'm
what
in
I
a
mean,
different, you
since
know,
it's the same money, I don't think it matters. We buy in 26.
Okay.
Jackie, do you?
No, I don't see a problem. I do see a problem in the communication. We need to find out why he's eliminated the underwater communication system, because I think that's what was important,
It is.
especially in these waters. that
I
we're
can try
in.
to find out.
Yeah.
You want me to go call?
Do you?
and I agree with, he had this,
I don't.
Cody sent me this and I sent him a text of the pictures of this right before me, so he should have a copy of
What
it.
we had before, with all the stuff with the dive equipment.
Oh, he said, Cody sent, text me back, he said, the proposal I sent you didn't have the underwater communication
Okay.
system for the
This
dive
was all
team.
the items
That was his
thing
mistake,
that
that's the
we
difference in
We didn't
price.
have a grant.
I would like to add this.
In our.
So then we need to go off with the
We had
original
a
proposal.
total of 50,000, almost 51.
Did you guys hear that?
Yes,
Big difference, you
I
know.
feel
Yeah.
comfortable just waiting until January. It's.
and so
But
what
do we
we did
wanna-
have in that. is
I
the
propose
underwater
instead of doing the
communication, all they
hose,
Listed is the same,
I propose
Except
that we
for
do
this.
Underwater.
the dive,
and to me,
Equipment
why
here.
we're half the
Yeah,
equipment.
the dive
because
rescue
they-
and rope rescue.
If you go
Okay.
underneath those plates. it's
I'll be
not
able to talk.
working.
I'll be able to talk.
Well, you can't see them half the time, so.
Okay,
Chief,
Yes, I.
I think we got everything all figured out. Have you on speaking phone? There was-
Cody's on the phone.
There was some confusion about the communications gear, but I think Leslie's clarified for us that you do want to add the underwater communications into the dive package, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we have that settled, Leslie?
I think so. Do you guys have any questions?
No, because we've got it figured, so that needs
Okay.
still be the 51,000.
So I do have a question. In the original quote back in September, how many suits was that supposed to be for?
Well, I think the original was 6, and then it was decided to add on, I think, 10 more suits into the quote that I sent Leslie, I think yesterday. To outfit the entire dive team with new dry suits, not just the 6.
So how much is the underwater communication system?
I believe I have that in my, letter that I sent to Leslie. But I'm assuming that's what the difference in cost was, because the one I sent her, there was $35,000. And the one that she had originally for Ryan was $50,000.
Yeah, 50,976.
Yeah. I know the last time we got the water communications, it's been probably over 10 years ago. It was, I think it was around $80,000, I think.
No, I don't remember the amount. I remember it was a lot, but
Yeah. But I did not have that in that I said less. So the original 6 dry suits were 11,700. If I wanted to get the whole dive team dry suits, that would be an additional $15,000.
600, yeah.
50,600.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's pretty close to what the difference is, because it says 15,497.
Yeah.
So that's what the
Okay, I just didn't know, like, the original quote for that almost 51,000 that Brian Blake provided, it doesn't stipulate how many dry suits.
I think it was 6 dry suits.
That's what it says, 6
It
dry
does
suits,
it?
11,700, yep.
Oh, no, I'm talking about this.
Oh, not in the first one, no.
No, and in the original,
No,
not the quote that you sent by email.
Right. And I don't know how many dry suits that he had involved in that. I'm assuming it was 6, but I don't know.
there's no way to tell.
All right, does that cover everything we needed to know? All right, chief, I think that's it. Thank you for your time.
You're feeling better.
I sure will.
All right, thank you.
Do they have all the hoses they need? That's because we talked about not having enough time to get it appropriated. Do they have, since they bought some, do they have all the hoses they need? Because
So they just ordered it.
I just ordered them, okay.
So that's gonna be marked off our, somebody else paid for
Yeah,
that, correct?
we're
Well,
done.
the city's probably gonna pay for that or do an appropriation.
Okay, so scratch that off the priority list then, if they got their
Well,
hose.
I don't wanna cover hoses because I wanna do it in 2026.
Right,
Okay,
If we're not gonna do hoses, then I wanna do something a little bit more high value hoses if we can.
okay,
So after talking with Cody, the next priority was, like we're talking about, is the dive
the 51.
rescue, yeah.
Well, I wanna make sure that he's got the numbers there, that we're needing.
Just
Because
talking with some of the guys and they didn't tell me that when they were testing hoses this year, they're just blowing right and left.
No, I'm not talking about that. I wanna make sure that the 51,000 is enough. Because if this one says 6 and this one says 6 and he's talking about 11. And each suit cost how much? It doesn't say. You divide it.
Well, it's on, like, each suit is almost $2,000.
But if we're missing 6, we're talking another 12 there.
Yeah.
So that's a
So
big difference in what he needs.
Yeah.
What if we asked for a revised, simplified Excel spreadsheet?
Just to
We
make
have-
sure
we have all the
everything's
background
covered.
information.
Okay.
But I want this many of this for this much many dollars.
Yeah.
Would that be helpful?
That would be very helpful,
Okay,
for us to make a determination, because I can't proceed with an appropriation until you guys approve. Do this.
all right, I'll have him do that,
You'll do that?
just a simple.
Don't you think that's gonna be
Okay,
easier?
and have it ready
Have
for
it
the next
itemized,
few-
have it itemized out?
Yeah,
That
that's
would be
fine.
amazing.
That's fine.
And then have it ready by our next board meeting. Like I said, I'd
You
like
see,
to
look
start.
at this, we hit priority list, and now we're in the hoses because they already got the hoses, I
Well,
guess.
they ordered them.
But that
Because it's-
shows
Now we're
what
going
our
something
priority
else.
was.
But we're not going down the list. But,
No, I listed them so you could, because
yeah,
it's coming off of what we were given back in September, and I didn't know if
Okay.
you guys still had this. So
okay,
I listed them with the dollar amounts.
okay,
The pole barn, okay, so the hose, they've already ordered it. The pole barn is something that we're looking at working on in 2027. The
Yeah.
extrication gear, the extrication tools, and the dive rescue and rope rescue equipment are things that are needed at some point. Of those three, the priority for the fire department is the dive rescue and rope rescue equipment, which is the last one.
okay.
Yeah, I'll get that, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we need to get the highest priority for them, if we can.
So are we just gonna say more updates to come at our next
Yeah.
meeting?
Yes.
So we're not really taking any action tonight.
Well, we really can't because we don't know an exact dollar amount.
That's-
Because like Jackie said, what if they needed more money and we just said 51,000 and they actually need more than that? Then we're kind of locking in the appropriation for 51. So,
And then they're short.
yep,
Yeah.
We'll just wait till we get.
yeah, and then you can have it ready for our next meeting, which is gonna be early part of December, so
Okay. I'll get on this tomorrow.
you're on it. Any questions about that?
Well, I think, yeah, I think we need a priority list, which I guess you people are gonna,
Well, this is the priority list, but it's not in
it's
priority.
not in priority order.
It's not in priority order.
Okay,
I put it in the order that I had it in my hand.
okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right, ITA conference reimbursement. Okay, so I think I gave everybody the city barbecue and the other receipts. So transparency, I wanted to give you guys what the receipts were. So one was going down and one was coming back for the meal. Because they did not give us lunch after at the end of the conference. It really ended on a very depressing note. One of the, it's awful. One of the head people in the conference leadership, his son passed away that morning. His 19-year-old son passed away that morning. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it ended. So anyways. So the receipts are here, and then I attached, what the per diem for in-state meals, so it's definitely below that. So I need approval, if it's okay with you, for the meals. The total was $30.67. And then the mileage, I did not make copies of that because it's on long paper. And then I did a printout off of MapQuest for the directions, and I'm going off of MapQuest. So, and I wrote down the total number of miles, and it's 49 cents a mile by the state. So the grand total would be $97.29 for mileage. So.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. All right, next thing you should have is Old Schaefer Cemetery restoration. Goal is to get it in 2026. You have two quotes. First one is from Stonehunger. They did the Rock 2 Cemetery, the little cemetery, back in 2020. The next one is a quote from Mahan. What I ended up doing was giving Mahan a copy of Stonehunger to know what the work that needs to be done, without giving prices. So there's a distinct price difference between the two. I did reach out to a third. Weeks had gone by. I got a phone call message to call a different number, in which I did, and I never heard from them. So I have two proposals, two estimates for you to look at.
I'm a little concerned about the vast price difference.
Stonehugger is so Stonehugger, Helen, it's her business. She has a office manager and she has a crew. Mahan, it is him and his son.
Well, Ellen did Newton County. When I was over there, she did some cemetery restoration. She does an excellent job. And they take the stones out if they have to and straighten them up and whatever they have to do, clean them off real good.
I think there's something to be said for doing business with people you have a past relationship with that are happy. But for another $31,000, that's a little.
One is double than the other.
Yeah, that's a big difference there.
I mean, I know it's just more work on you. Track down references for Mahan.
You try. I'd have to reach out to Mahan.
Because
For
we
references.
know you're happy with Stonehunger, right?
Mm-hmm. I was very pleased with Stonehugger. The stones, it's been 5 years since the work was done. The stones need to be cleaned. Not restored, but moss and debris. I mean, they're starting to show some wear, so they need to be cleaned with. When I spoke with Mahan, he said there's a product that's called, I believe he said it was called Wet and Forget. That you just spray it on the stones and that's all you gotta do, but you don't spray it, you're supposed to mist it onto the stones.
For siding too, for mold.
So,
Jackie, what do you think about this huge difference?
So I'm just going down to see where it's on, to see if it's, what the big difference is, because there's got to be a, that's why.
Well,
I'm
if he
going
doesn't
to-
have tablets, for instance. He doesn't have, Mahan doesn't have tablets, small monuments. It's kind of hard to tell, large monuments,
Stonehill seems to be a little bit more descriptive in what they're doing.
that's right. That's for large monuments.
Photography, yeah, but they also have things for, that I don't know if we need, photography and doc.
yes,
That's what's the difference.
yes,
is.
let me show you what that
See what
looks like.
the difference is, the photography and the document. The photography, what we're looking at, one's doing the job and the other one, after they do the job, this one, you're not gonna get the pictures and show the before and after.
Where
And
do you,
there,
where do you see that?
it's right on the difference of here. You're talking,
Oh, okay.
looking here, the clean and leveling is the same, if you look at that, but everything
This is what
that's
she-
different.
And she did research too.
So
So
that's the
this-
difference.
This is what Stonehugger provided, so. Map,
It all depends.
Well,
Yeah.
and tons of pictures of the before work and the after work. So, and then if she could find information, she did some genealogy. Consider it not a genealogy, but if she found some information on somebody that was buried there, she provided that information.
That's the
So-
difference.
That's the difference.
That's what you're paying for. That's the difference. The actual work is the same.
Okay.
That's why your big difference, but it all depends if you want that or if you are you going for, I
Well-
mean, has that. I mean, what
I
is
don't know if the person that's ever really looked at it.
You see where I'm going there?
Do we really need pictures before, because we can look ourselves before and after,
Well, you can go and take pictures before and after of everything if that's what you want. I mean, not to you personally, but you can go and take pictures of everything that they have there, but that's 137, but if you're prepared, but I think the difference is she doesn't, they don't, and they may offer that. I don't know if they offer
I don't know.
pictures as document, exactly, because they're just telling you what the service is costing.
Mhm.
If you want extra, they just include this in their service.
Well,
So-
Stonehugger, if the stones are crooked or bent or something, they take them out and put down a new base and level them up.
Well, this is what this says they're doing, clean and level.
Okay,
So that's the same thing that you're getting because it says reset
Okay.
base, level, clean. So you're getting the same, order. I don't know why they would need to do that, but you also gotta be careful. Now these are tombstones that nobody's going to say anything, correct? Like if you fix it and no family member's gonna say this is off.
I
This is-
have been contacted by somebody by the last name of Hunt who was trying to find a loved one out at Schaefer.
And the only reason I
And
said-
weeks later, he found it, but
Well, Riverview Cemetery, I know I was out there and one of the bases was replaced and it did not match the other base. And they said that the lawnmower did it and the people that they fixed it and they weren't happy with the fixes. So that's what I don't know, you know, when they say that they're clean and remorse. But that's the difference. That's what you're paying for is the documentation and the photography. That's the difference that you're paying. Because that's going to take, and if she does research of any kind, that's gonna also say, so that's what you're seeing the difference in the price.
huge.
But that takes a lot of time and energy, and she's gonna be going back through the files and things like this, and you gotta pay her for her time. I mean, and you're talking how many tombstones and all, I mean, that's a lot. I don't know, they didn't.
And this was,
itemize it out.
and this one was a small cemetery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that's a lot of cemeteries and a lot of, I mean, a lot of stones to do, if you're doing piecework, that's nothing.
Well, cemetery, not very many stones out
Yeah.
there.
Looks like there's roughly somewhere around 140.
I don't think so. Not at the big cemetery. I don't think there's that many stones.
277 it says on
It
the
says
list,
77.
that's what it says if you add it up. It's 14, 81,
Well,
16,
could be. They're spread so far apart that,
the
could be.
Depends with my calculator, I used to use my phone, so.
well, I know Helen does a good job, excellent job.
I think we could probably live without the photographs and documentation, don't you?
Yeah.
Because in that way, you do business with a company that you're happy with,
Mhm.
then you know, and we don't have to justify why we spent twice as much money.
Well, we
Yeah.
could ask her how much it would be without
You could
documentation.
ask that, if she's willing to do the job without it,
Well, yeah, if she's willing
because
to
some
do
people
that.
do it to,
Makes profit.
no, to protect themselves.
Hmm.
Cause when you say it wasn't unlevel, she has proof that it was.
Yeah, she's probably gonna.
So she's not going to, you see what I'm saying? If you say, well, wait a minute, you said there were 274, but I only show a list of 268. Why did you mess with the others? Well, she has proof of why she messed with the others. This one, you just have, there's a reason why she's doing this, but there's also a cost to it. So, I mean, I understand why she's doing
Yeah,
it, but,
makes sense.
but this way, you know, you have proof of what was done before. So that's totally up to you guys. I'm totally, but that's what my weighing these two. You're comparing apples and oranges here to me.
Well,
They're both fruits, but you're comparing
I'd
apples.
say
and oranges.
ask her how much it would be without the documentation. And then compare.
I don't know if she would do it.
I don't either.
She
She
may
may
not
be
do it.
bonded.
She may not do it.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, I don't think you'd wanna give out the price, but you could say, I've got another quote for French.
Mhm.
You know, I wanna do business with you, but I don't know if I can justify it.
I will tell you, when I was at the conference, being at her booth, there were people flocking over and they were talking about getting on her schedule, and she was looking very booked up for 2026. I don't know if she was completely booked at that time, but she said they were getting really full for 2026. So, I mean, I can ask.
Since we're not actually taking bids, these are just quotes. But I wonder if we do have some type of obligation to take the lowest cost, most responsive quote. That's what you have to do on a bid. It doesn't have to be the lowest one,
Mhm.
but I think we need to be, if we would go with Stonehunter, we'd have to be able to justify to a third party why we spent twice as much money.
I would agree with that. I feel I'm okay with going with the lower quote. I don't. This seems very expensive in comparison, if that is the main difference, so.
If they've done any around, if the other one's done, worked around this area, we can go look and see.
Mayhem,
Yeah.
I'd have to ask.
We can go look and see what.
This is a pretty big project for father and son
Mhm.
operation.
It'd take them several days to do it.
Well, it's gonna take more than two people.
I wanna say anywhere between 20 and 25 stones a day is what they can get through.
I thought. That's what I want to try to find out if there's any references for the.
Okay.
And, you know, because again, if you check references and they're not that good, well, that helps you justify.
Well, we ought to
And,
go look at it.
and the Stonehunter is willing to just not do all the documentation. Cause I think, like Jackie says, they're probably gonna do it for themselves, but they don't need to provide it to us. Yes.
So you want me to reach out to Mayhem for references? Do you want me to reach out to Stonehugger to see if they'll do it without the documentation?
I do, what about you guys?
Well, I'd like to see a completed job that Mayhan has done.
I agree. I think that we should see, I think there's two polls here. I think we need references for Mayhem, and I think we need to check with Stonehugger to see if they'll do it without the photography and documents. If my guess, she won't.
Okay.
If it was my business and I gave you a quote, and I don't know this lady at all, I know you all have dealt with her, I have not. But if it was my business and I do it a certain way, not gonna budge on my price.
But it's just an estimate too, it's not.
Correct.
See,
And this one, he is just giving you what he's going to do. There's not gonna be, it's like, how would you say
two
this?
people.
You got Walmart and you got Ellis Ayres, okay? That's what I sort of compared it to two, where you got a Volkswagen and a Cadillac.
Now, keep in mind, he did not come out and look himself.
Right,
He went off of looking at this estimate.
right.
What was like, how many of the smalls and how many of the larges?
Right.
You need to know what the problems might be out there
Sure.
either.
True.
One stone might take a lot of work. He doesn't.
Now, Stonehugger, I had a quote from Stonehugger that was on my desk when I came into office. So I don't know when Stonehugger, if they did come out, I don't know how they did it. I'm assuming they did come out because this looks very detailed and with numbers.
Yeah.
So I just asked them in August to give me an updated one from the original one that they had given many years before.
Yeah.
Which I want to say was from 2020 or from 2017 was like 45 or 47,000, and then now 2025 at 64,000.
I say we need a little bit more information. We get references from Mayhem and we see if Stonehugger is there any way to negotiate the prices like if we didn't do the photography and the documents, which she, no history, we just want to clean up. See if she would be willing to do that. It may be under her insurance that she cannot do it that way. Because some of them have proof. Which I'm sure he has insurance
Well, I
too,
don't-
but
You can take her own pictures, I just don't have to pay for it.
yes.
That's why I think, she can protect herself, but we don't have to pay for the.
Mhm.
If you're, it's a business, so you gotta let her do her business the way, she sees
Well, she
fit.
needs to justify why two stones, one costs twice as much as the other,
Exactly,
because one's in twice as bad shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think we know
So,
where we're going.
yeah. okay.
Okay. Well, that's not much more work for listening.
Yes. Okay,
And
so,
we appreciate that.
all right, are we ready for the fun part?
No.
Okay.
This hasn't been the fun part, but.
Oh.
Good.
Now we're moving on to internal controls. This is gonna be part one. The other part, I'm working on it. It's gonna be very detailed, but the small part is what is required for us to do every year. So, I talked with you, or I didn't talk with you, but I sent you guys information a while ago that internal controls watched the video. Okay, so you're gonna, hopefully you've already watched the video. I provided the title and the amount of time that it took. I went ahead and I filled in Union Township, Lake County on the form. So at the top, you will print your name. We'll do this with you. Next line, okay, so I fill in your name, the duly elected, appointed, or employed. You would put board member, I'm gonna put trustee.
Excuse me.
For Union Township, White County, certify that I've received the following training concerning internal control standards and procedures as required by Indiana code. I went ahead and I wrote in the internal controls webinar from YouTube and the site address. I went ahead and I filled in the amount of time. It takes 26 minutes and 33 seconds. At the bottom, you'll put today's date, 11/17/2025. And then your signature. I also have to do this with Caitlin as well. And have her complete that hopefully this week.
They can see that we watched that, right? I mean,
It's
like
on
YouTube,
YouTube.
it's, yeah.
No, it's
Oh,
just-
right there.
No, it's just
No.
on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I got no verification that you actually watched it,
Got it.
other than you signing this document
They
stating
don't
you
know
did
who
it.
watches.
Okay, so I did. Assistance guidelines updates. Okay. You guys have. Someone's gonna be forgetting. Oh, is that big inside? Let me label this for Caitlin to do so I don't forget. Okay, so I gave you each a copy of my new assistance guidelines. I highlighted numbers 3 and 5. And this is what I did. I'm gonna give you a copy of this for your minutes, so you know
Okay.
exactly the changes,
Gotcha.
because I highlighted them. Okay, so on line 3, I removed. No, on line 3, I updated available November 1st through the 20th for the 2025-2026 season, because it originally said available November 1 through April 14th for the 2024-2025 season. Then it went on to say, to apply online, go to, and then it gives the website for Area 4, or call 211 to apply. I updated the available dates, and for the season, I deleted Area 4 Agency.org's website because I went to the website and I could not find their application. And then I deleted call 211 to apply because you can't apply by calling 211 this year. I deleted that. I left the main number, but then I added option 1 on there, as I was told by Area 4 to do. Okay, then you go down to line 5, and after it says proof of employment, there was another part to that sentence. It originally read proof of employment or proof of working with Work One. I deleted proof of working with Work One because Work One is no longer here. And the other temp agency in the past did not want to work with us, so I deleted that,
For
so.
number 5, they're probably unemployed. Might be why they're here. Anyway. Anyway,
All right, that was the original. I highlighted where the changes are, and then that one part, yeah, or what I deleted and changed, so. All right,
over
Uh,
for number 2, that's a driver's license, I guess, is the. And you're already saying, yeah, you're right, driver's license.
you've gotta have a valid ID or driver's license or ID. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
okay.
What I need for you guys to do would be okay with the changes and make an adoption of
I do have
these.
a Question.
Yes,
Maybe a clarification on
Yes,
item
sir.
number 2.
yes.
The last thing, there's a government picture ID.
Mhm.
Is that a US government or state of Indiana government? Because I get a lot of,
Do we need to clarify?
well, I mean, is this only available to US citizens?
I would prefer US documentation because for me, I would not be able to verify a non-US document
That's
because I
exactly-
am not,
Like,
there's no way for me to validate. I wouldn't even know what a true one would
I
look
get,
like.
I get a lot of those, from El Salvador and Ecuador. You have no idea.
I mean, I can look at a driver's license and say, yeah, that looks like a real driver's license, or at least it looks like a real driver's license versus. I have nothing to compare.
I don't know that we can.
Oh, either.
Because we as a financial institution cannot discriminate from IDs. And in nowhere in our jurisdiction does it say that we only take US documentation in anything that I've ever seen from the government.
Well,
I don't
for
know.
legal aliens, don't we need a citizenship?
They don't need a citizenship, they can have
At the bank,
visas.
at the bank, she's talking about at the
At
bank.
the government offices, they can have visas.
Okay,
So that's where I don't know if we
So you
can
think maybe
put.
the best action is no action?
That, I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I'm just telling you what we can and cannot do.
I just know there's no way for me to verify a different governmental identification. I have nothing to compare it to.
And the
There's
only
no way
thing
to
that you-
verify.
Right. And the only thing that you could do is then send them to a government office would be, the driver's license would be your closest to get them. But I don't know that you can force them to get aid by doing
Maybe
that.
because we can't get any driver's licenses.
No.
Because they don't have proper documentation.
Correct. And that's something that we could, if we want, I don't know that we should. Lum and Lafayette deals with this a lot, and Lafayette Urban Ministry,
So maybe for now, the best thing to do just nothing, just leave it be.
Just leave it?
We'll figure out.
I would say
As we-
yes. I would be
Okay.
very, yes, so nobody would jump on us on that. We haven't seen that be a problem, so,
We'll make it a problem.
yeah, let's.
Okay, so I need for you guys, if you guys are okay with the changes and the edits, to be able to adopt the updated systems guidelines, so that I can make the change on the bottom of the form.
Okay, in a motion to adopt the systems guidance.
motion to adopt the guidelines.
I second.
Motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And it's approved.
Okay. And, oh, we're almost done. Okay, so I gave you guys an updated 2025 payroll as to what everything should look like. Hopefully by our next meeting. I'm hoping that, our next meeting would be our last meeting. Here, fingers crossed. This was created by Kristen Marvin, over at Monticello Tax and Accounting. I gave her the number of days. She did the breakdown, so you guys have an idea of what your gross is, all the deductions, and what your paycheck would look like. So it worked out really well with the split between Tim and Larry. I just want to give you guys an idea of what it's gonna look like and make sure, hold me to the fire that I write the checks for the right amount this year.
We don't need action on this.
No, that was just for your information. I thought you guys might want to know that. All right. Does anybody have, I have no other at this time. Does anybody have any other? Nope. Larry, do you have any other? Okay, then the last thing is to decide when we want to meet for our next meeting. I propose we do not do it on December 8th. I'm gonna be a basket case because my son leaves for basic training.
Will be.
We do not have to stick with Mondays. We could do it a different day of the week. If I know, because December is crazy with the holidays and all of that.
Would you rather do it that second week because it's further, I mean, we do the 15th, but the closer it gets to Christmas, the more hectic life becomes.
I would not be opposed with doing it the week of the 8th, just not that Monday or Tuesday.
Maybe a couple reading, so Thursday.
Thursday sounds great with me. I just want to do it more earlier in the month. That way, if we decide to help out any of the other organizations, I can kind of check and then you get it deposited and.
I can't do it the 11th.
Okay.
I can do it the 12th, I could do it the 12th, but I can't do it on
I can do
Thursday.
the 12th.
That is a Friday. You guys okay with doing it on a Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to do it at 5:30? Do we want to do it earlier? I don't know what your availability is Friday. right.
I'm not working right now, so it wouldn't matter to me.
Jackie?
I can get here if we tell me a time, I will just block it off my calendar. So, it's fine, it's not a problem. So what time do you wanna be here?
5:30 is okay with me.
We can do 3, I can do, if you wanna.
I mean, we close at 3.
You wanna do 3?
Yeah, that way, just, yeah.
December what?
12.
December 12 at 3.
For some reason that.
Okay,
I got it.
okay, unless we get a blizzard, I won't be here if we get a blizzard.
Me neither, I'll be sitting at home too. Let's say we're gonna have to do this via email.
There won't be any Dairy Queen blizzard either.
No.
Dairy Queen blazer.
All right, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well moved.
Six.
Motion is to adjourn. All in favor?
Hi.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We're done.